Hi Mom. Right, this is what you need to do what you need to do for Babylon's translation. First, start with a notepad. This is where you get the notepad. Notepad is this type of folder, file, sleeve, binder icon. Okay. I've started one with Babylon 9, so you have the license first to do in Babylon 9. Okay. You open Babylon 9, make sure it looks like this, open menu, enter your license. I've sent you the notepad too, because it's on the screen, so you should be able to do this. Don't get too confused, it is confusing, but don't get too confused. Okay, type in license, don't forget the capital, program. And the code. And then in the license. Okay. Alright. That's activated now. Then what you need to do is when you've got a blank page of notepad, right? Choose new file. Okay. Type in anything. The house on the hill, okay? Right, and then save it. Save it as. It's all very slow because it's doing a lot of things. I hope the other is better than ours as it's frozen here. Okay. Just gotta wait a long time, that's all. Oh dear me, this is too long to wait. Anyone for tennis? Oh dear. It's taking a long time because of this bit. They've been recording on video. See what I mean? Right, see that bit's recording, which is the video that I'm showing you now. So the page that I recorded with notepad, record, text saved, whichever, it has to be saved as a file without the asterisk that was just deleted. Like it was this one here, it was there, here, and I deleted it. Right, so the house on the hill. Right, and you save it, but it says here documents library. Don't matter about this bit because they're all different, but this bit's always the same here: library, documents, and C drive. Okay, so click here. You recognize familiar here. Make sure it's the computer that chooses it, not you. Make sure it's the drive where you want it, not the computer. Make sure it's where you keep your folder of what you want kept, labeled where you want to keep it in that particular order. Here it's in music when I actually wanted something else for pictures, because yours will go straight to documents, but I've took it to pictures because there's nothing there for me. But here there is when you go in your documents. So I'll show you that if you keep it in documents where we just came from, but I showed you how to get there, up here, C drive, user, your name, then the document folder, or where you want it kept. Familiar with that, because you know that if it goes anywhere else, it'll be particular by the type of folders that come in that order, right? In other words, if you want it in pictures, it would be here in pictures on some tops, like desktops or laptops, right? So that's saved, and you just save it there, and it's saved in that folder. Now then, you don't need that, but I'll show you how to do something else with it in a minute, because it's saved. Okay. Now then, what we need now is Babylon open. Okay. You take it into text. That's this, right? Make this page bigger. Okay, there would be no point in looking for a larger area here to make it bigger, because you have to do it manually. So you choose it when it looks like that to make it manually bigger, like that, and you choose it that way to keep it bigger than it was when you'd found it, you know. Upload file. At the top it tells you again where you've just been and saved, but remember it's a different program that's opened here. This says Babylon here, this B here, so at the top it's going to ask you again where do you want to look. Okay, it showed you from the past, but it's a different program that it's looking with. Back in the computer, because I showed you the order, you'll know that the computer tells you where to go, but you're asking it each time you look for it. So it's computer, IC, then it's user, then it's me or you in your case, and you remember that you wanted to save it in my documents, and I took it to music, and I showed you that I would keep it in a blank folder in my pictures. So you would either have it as a new folder in my pictures, or I took it to music so that I could show you that there'd be another place that you would have to take it with. Okay, now I want it in my documents, same as you, so you click on my documents, and that's where you find it, okay, because you saved it there, okay, and you put it from there and open. Document takes a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds, and it'll come up in text, which is this bit which we selected here. Otherwise it's just word for word with this bit here. Okay. Translate it. Okay, you want it in Spanish from English. Okay. Okay. Whoop. Spanish. So on. And then translate it. Okay. You don't have to select anything like cut and paste yet, like that. You don't have to do that yet. But that's the sentence. Okay. Now you need to move all of this condition that it's give you, whether it's a translation or a conversion or a paraphrase that it's to let you reveal of what you've typed in English. It's immaterial, but you have to copy it. Now I showed you two ways. I showed you on your home computer, Control then C, and that works, but it doesn't show you this list, it just copies straight away. This way you can choose copy. Some programs don't let you do that. Make it small. You don't have to cover the page that you've actually done in English, right? And you know you've saved it, so you can start it again. And either with Control and V, like Control and C's copy, Control and V to paste, Control V, you can paste it, or delete that, Control right click and paste, like you've just right clicked and copied in Babylon over the top of the translation to type onto the notepad. Okay, so Control V after that gives you that. Okay, which is the 3 sentence because I did it 3 times. Right, so you know it now. Once you've got that, right, once you've got that, you don't need that bit highlighted once you've took off what you wanted to translate, right? What I mean by that is, if you have got translation and you only want some part of it, then you can delete as you go along to show how it refers to what your English text is. I'll show you about that when you want to see what you've written in Spanish converted back to English. That's how I knew it was disgraceful, the way it was wrote. So I take that bit off. But my computer can be bothered with stuck dancing. Shouldn't actually keep doing that, jumping around like that. I want all of that where it is now off, because I just want that sentence there to be right there. So I'll take that off and then I'll save that. I took the full stop off, if you noticed. Put the full stop back on. Save it as. And you should always remember that there's converted files which they ask you as language, but it's not our language, it's the language the computer uses to turn the files. Identity. Right, here we go. Now, that's the house on the hill. Now you should type it as the house on the hill and then put Spanish. And then it'll go save in that my documents where it will, because you'll know that because that's where you last used it, right? That's more. Okay, now then, when Babylon is opened again, it won't give you that page again. In the future, you'll have lost this, you know, because you'll have turned that right. You'll have got rid of it, you know, because you'll have switched your computer off or whatever, or closed the window, you know. So forget that that page will be there and don't rely on it, because no program actually remembers it. It just recovers the file that you hoped it to be if it's in order to what you want to find, in which case it's not feeling what you want to put. It's not giving you what you have to contradict, right? It's only giving you the interpretation that you left it with of what's given by how you found it to be. Right, upload the file. This is just to show you that the translation is as close as possible to English as it made of you, not with you. So it's not actually giving you anything that you didn't give it. Open. Choose the Spanish, yeah? And it'll detect it, hopefully. Alright. And then you translate that one sentence. That's the file, remember. It's not from what was down here, not from what was up there. It's not from what I gave it by typing, and I did not ask it to remember nothing. I gave it. Remember that. Translate. And then the sentence should be saying the house of the hill. Oh, of the hill, when I meant on the hill. Alright. So, you can do that now. Okay. Now remember that you were able to let it be just that one translation, but once it's been a one translation and it's there, you can do whatever you want. For us, we want to print it. Now for you, you might want to save it on a stick. So remember when you went to computer to documents, from documents to in the C drive, computer documents, you went to the file. You want to get that file printed. You can print it from there, but you can do it with the file on screen like this without having to go through the list again. because you just see me do it. Print, I chose print, I'm waiting to make print. So there you are, print. Then you print it. Okay? Right, so I won't do that because that's a waste of paper. But I'm just showing you how to do it. Remember that if you've got it there and you've managed to find out what you want to do with it, after you've got it there, like you want to record it onto a hard drive, like a stick or something, then I went into start, I looked in my computer again, excuse me, and then you can get your stick, which should be plugged in. You keep that plugged in. Mine's this one, and first you need where that was, you know, and it was definitely in my documents, we know that. So you get into my documents, okay, and then from my documents you move it to the stick, which is N, remember? Right, so you move your Spanish version into your removable stick, like so. When it's highlighted there, it tells you, and you let it go. Now how I got it there was left click all the time, okay, and hold it and let it drop. And if you want to rename it, you right click wherever you've left it, or wherever you put it, or wherever you found it, or whatever you've saved it as, or how you found it in that place where you've saved it, and you rename it by choosing rename, and then you type it in. Right, so that's good, that's what you know. Now, next bit. The next bit is for me to show you where I'm going to go to do this bit, right? And alright, okay, in case I still feel as though you're a little confused, so I'll show you with what you know it to be, okay? Because for you are best using pages you recognize as attachments when you email, and you may be used to using PDF rather than text files. Now I prefer text because it's a piece of piss, but you might be using PDF because that's what you were locating with the computer at the time, rather than choosing it off will for easy use. So I'm uploading a file now. It's a bit daft for me because I've got a funny feeling that with one memory stick at a time I won't have what I'm looking for here now. That's all I can think. Oh, does this computer love a dance first thing in the morning? Yeah, I don't know. Still waiting. Still gonna be waiting 24 hours later, that late. No. Bloody freezing here, Mum. Freezing. yours will do this a lot quicker, no doubt. Because it's recording at the same time, no doubt. I was just warning wasn't here. I feel like singing this song while it does this. Come on. I'm going to search at the file while it does that, because it's just dancing by itself. It's having a bad idea. I don't know. Not working right. I'm blaming Camtasia for that because it doesn't usually do that. It's got to the point where it's just going around in fucking circles, just driving around twists. Stop then. Stop. Stop. You've had your chance. Stop. Stop. Dance like a chicken. I think that's just because the video is communicating with it and jumping in, diving in and stuff. And I've asked it to stop and it's still not stopping. Fucking tourist. Trying to find that one in there so I can stop it and close it. Find out what's on its mind. There must be something. It's not giving us where I want to go. I'll close it often enough and it's done. Try and keep going. Manager, where are you? Manager. Come on, manager. I'm just going to close that now. No, it's not important because the video is slowing it down and jolting. The manager back because that's just shitty. It should have done it right and it did not. Sorry about this, Mum. Okay, that's the one that I want now. That's Babylon. Don't keep doing that to us, man. Just makes me mad. Come on, where are you? Babylon. Where are you? There you are. It's that one, because it's just not responding there. Click on it. Ended. It's getting cold down there, let's close the door down. Fucking end, bitch. Babylon, end. End program. It won't do any of that with you. You know it won't. Don't worry about it. Just being mischievous. because this is covering the pages where I need to change what's on the screen, so I can't do it with cover it, and it's stopping it because each time it pops up and I click on it, it comes back on with this. So it's like a virus what it's going through, but it's not a virus. It's just thinking things. Fuck off, man. Leave. Go. Disappear. Where are you? There we go. Now I can get the page. See, one thing closes while it's still thinking and covering it again. Close program. Close the program. That's good. What I was showing you was trying to open up Babylon to give you that particular introduction to what you want to convert and what your conversions will be when they're saved, and how the conversions that you saved will be printed and how to do that. And in long and short of it, it started thinking about other things, so it's not having a good day. Another cigarette. I don't normally smoke this much, man. See, it's gone back to that. So you make it big, you add to text, you put in your text or your file, you convert, you copy the notepad, you open your notepad that you've saved in print and print it, and that's as easy as it gets. Dog's with me, by the way, looking at music from Daft, talking to myself. So it's not flashing there, so I'm still thinking. Right. First of all, upload a file. Which is on another stick, so I'll put the other stick in. Remember, it might have took 4 or 5 minutes, or that, maybe a little longer, but it actually seems like a long time. And if it's gone for a long time and you've kept going forwards and backwards to move things about, it'll take you longer than watching the video and reflecting on how easy it is to reinstall it. So it's easier to watch all the mistakes than it is to watch the bloody actual thing that goes right. You remember at the beginning I had a file and I typed the house on the hill, and I didn't save it until after I showed you that I wanted to keep it and show you a different way than actually having to, after saving it, load it up as an upload file. So I'll show you why I wanted that page kept. Still got it, it's still here, but it's not going to be that page that I'm going to use, that's all. And I want computer to hurry up. And it doesn't want to hurry up. I think these computers should. You see the speed of that circle there? It should be much faster than that. Continue without scanning. Of course, I've just plugged in a stick. You see, that's what a D is. It's a stick. So it's trying to find that too, and while it's opening a file, uploading a file, and still getting that on while video is working, and I'm downloading a film for Dad and all that, it's just going a bit slow. At the end of the day, it has to do all that to make sure it goes in order. Excuse me. Computer again, and so I'll come up here, login, C, all library, remember, C, all library, one's quicker than the other, that's all. I'm going to look up in C, because my library is just consistent of very little. Painstakingly obvious, so I'll be adding some more. And that's it for it. It's still not getting there. Today would be nice computer doing that in. I don't know if they're conflicting interests, these programs really shouldn't be. I'll close you with the manager, you bugger. Babylon, I will close you with the manager if you give me this piss take one more time. Bye bye, Babylon. I will come and get you again. I notice when I warn it, it gives it grief, but it doesn't give me grief. Control Alt Delete gets a manager. And then I just open the manager there, like that. Look at that grinding away. My documents. They were what I'd left open. Still open before it. There's one open there, look. On the left where it says the house on the hill Spanish. That notepad was what I left up before, but it was in English, you know. I had it in English and then I closed it because I didn't want the saving version to copy and paste. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to open up the other one, which was the one that I gave you last night, and show you that, put back to English, and then you can see how you could print it off by editing it once you have it. Alright, I'm up here and I'm going to move it across, and I'll show you that you don't have to do it this way, but this way that I've done it isn't the most beneficial way to not learn from, because it's in the learning that you get to do what you want to change about the text with the words. Right. This was what I sent you last night. Yeah, I sent you this because you know that it needed converting with editing. Not that it was worded wrong or that it worded it back in translation, just that the editing wasn't in Spanish, it was in English. Right, okay. This detect language is crap too. It should have been easy to change. So I need that to back from Spanish to English. That's English slowly, slowly. Spanish, oops. It did go to the bottom, and I did press it to go to the top, and it went to the top, and then I wanted it to come from the bottom to the top, not from the bottom into the top. Ugh. With all this jolting going on, it's no wonder a lot of things get made mistakes of. And then translate. And when it's done that, you go back to the computer and you find out what conditional disorientations it went through to see the edification that it had made. And that's the next step for you to rely on how to word a Spanish document from an English document, like knowing when to turn left, when to turn right, when to signal. It's like being in the middle of paradise at night. That's what this is like. Except it's bloody hell and it's the middle of the morning. Text there, and then you just double click on your attachment which came with the email. Okay, bit of a hiccup with it before, Babylon that is, and you can just fast forward that bit because you'll know that now. And here I give it, when it comes out of it, what it had. But remember, I didn't do it in paragraph form. I just did it in separate issues here, you know. So when you've got the page on the screen, you still can move it to the end of the line along the bottom in Notepad, right? But when you print it, it'll come out, well, separate pages fitting A4. That's why they're in text. Right, so now we go back to Babylon. And you can see here now, this is the English version, English text. This is the Spanish version I've put in as upload, and this is the English version of that Spanish version translated. And it was from that I got that, and it's from that I got that. And if that equals that, this here equals this, then you can predict where your sentences need editing. Or you can just change this and edit it by piece input with your left click. So you're not actually changing any of what you've wrote, just what people will see the outcome to be when you see what I mean in a second. Because I'll move it down and I click like that. And if I just put my, well, what I'm doing there is I'm putting the cursor over the word, left clicking and dragging it with my finger still on the left click, and I'm typing in what I would, you know, change when I put it to Notepad. So I put it to the bottom, left click to the end, and I drag it all the way up, and I let it go, right? I let it go nowhere, you know, I let it go nowhere because it's taking it to the beginning. With the left click, you can take it a little bit at a time, right? And you can move it up by just taking it little bits at a time, and it won't show you it, and it won't add it because it'll keep trying to make other things join in there. And yet, if I keep doing it with the left click on, okay, then it would take too long and it would have too much interference. And that's why if you control, remember, press control and left click, it'll take just the text. Okay, so it's put your left click on the bar, left click off, control, left click on, and it chooses the text. Right click, copy. Anywhere on there, right click, copy. Okay, that's one way. Or from the beginning again, left click, control, because that chooses the page, the left click chooses the page, control, left click, that chooses the text that's in that caption of the document, and then control, when it's got it chosen, like copy, when it's chosen copy, then control and C, and it won't tell you anything about that, so it'll just know that when you've done that. Then start your file document with Notepad, new, right click or control V, paste, or control V, and you can compare the documents if you've got another Notepad, which you can choose there. So you can get another Notepad, which is like getting a blank page and going back to Babylon, comparison up, because they're different. That is Babylon's conversion. The one that you had in Babylon is different. You see, there is different to that, because that's converted, translated as such, but it's different for different languages. And that's just a blank page, that, right, which I just showed you are opened. And therefore I can, by fairness, show you how to get to that page which was your writing, and it's your writing that it's considered as, not mine, which was in here, double click, left click, and it opens, double left click and it opens. Just wait for a second. Alright. Ouch. I'll go there. Don't need that. And then your English text is there. Now that's how you compare them. Do you see? Because now you have your page and you can write in what comparatives were missing. And then you can see that when you've got the 3 pages, the version that it give you, the version that you give it, the photo version that's in there, and what page sentence you need to add into the translation in Spanish to read as a concise document, totally. And that's it, really. So I'm going to add a little bigger. A little bigger. A little bigger. Move up. And then you can compare it complicitly to cross. Okay. Yeah. I bet you need a cup of coffee after this. Alrighty. Put that down. For example, this third piece here, which is going to show you the difference in Spanish and English translation of sentences that you've added. Remember, because you're making notes, these are just notes, and you don't get confused with notes, you get confused with adaptations or bits that you don't understand of the difference that it's made, not what you made. So in other words, this is the bottom page. Okay, so you can move this across. Okay, move that across and put the other 2 pages back up. So then the 3 pages will show you the difference of what you've added into the difference of what you've to remember to add. Yeah, like that. Uses that. Now you just need to get a hold of the memories that you want to add in a blank document here. Say you wanted to add facts and figures, so you write in facts and figures, you write it here, and then you copy, right click, paste, okay, and you add it to Babylon's text before you save it as Spanish. You with me? Because you're able to add the sentence that it would be wherever you want it to be, in English there or in Spanish there. So it should be the same with the facts and figures, but your sentences will be in Spanish. Like, I don't know, if you wanted to make your home more expensive looking, you just get to the end of your playing sentence, which is here, I received no recognition, only is being treated with, only it is, so you'd put in it and you'd find it, and you could add it here and it will add it at the end or into the document in order of where the sentence was in English. Remember, it was English when you translated it to Spanish, and then you move the Spanish in there and translate it to English. So there, you paste it, You know, the number will go in there. The number will go in there, and it'll copy into here when you've done it. Or the words or the sentences, depending upon which you wanted to edit for, you know. So it took an hour to show you all that, and once you've saved and got used to putting the file that's saved in documents, you can print them in an order that will explain it to somebody when you show them pages in the future. Easy. Good? Good. Bye for now.